You think habits are just simple routines, something you do automatically without thinking. But the truth is far more fascinating. Habits are not just actions. They are the invisible architecture of your life. Every choice you make, every behavior you repeat, shapes who you are, how you think, and ultimately how successful or stuck you remain. The science of habits reveals secrets about your brain, your motivation, and your behavior that can completely change the way you approach your daily life. Imagine waking up in the morning. You brush your teeth, check your phone, make coffee, maybe scroll social media. These actions feel automatic, almost invisible, but they are tiny threads that weave the pattern of your day, your week, and eventually your entire life. Habits are not just about repetition. They are about cue, routine, and reward, a simple yet powerful cycle that your brain loves to exploit. Neuroscientists have discovered that once a behavior becomes a habit, it's stored in a part of the brain called the basal ganglia, which is responsible for automated behaviors. This means your brain doesn't waste energy thinking about habitual actions. It just executes them, often without conscious thought. The surprising part is that habits are not destiny. They are flexible. Your brain can be rewired, and new habits can replace old ones, but it requires understanding how the system works. Every habit begins with a cue, a signal that triggers the behavior. It could be stress, boredom, a time of day, or even another action. Then comes the routine itself, the action you take, whether it's scrolling Instagram, biting your nails, exercising, or meditating. Finally, there is the reward, which reinforces the behavior in your brain. This cycle explains why habits are so hard to break. Your brain craves the reward, even if the habit is harmful. Consider a common example: procrastination. You know you should work, but instead, you scroll social media. The cue might be a looming deadline or feeling overwhelmed. The routine is avoidance, and the reward is instant relief from stress. Your brain celebrates this small reward, strengthening the habit loop. Suddenly, procrastination becomes automatic, almost unavoidable, even when you consciously know it's counterproductive. This is why habits are so powerful. They bypass reasoning and appeal directly to your brain's desire for efficiency and reward. But here's the surprising twist. The brain doesn't care if the habit is good or bad. It only cares about efficiency and reward. That's why bad habits are so sticky, and why good habits often require deliberate effort to establish. The key to harnessing habits is understanding the cues and rewards, and then designing routines that serve your goals rather than undermine them. Successful people don't just rely on willpower, they shape their environment, control cues, and attach rewards to desired behaviors. Breaking down habits into small, actionable steps is crucial. Let's say you want to start exercising daily. You can't expect to suddenly become disciplined. Instead, focus on the cue, perhaps laying out your workout clothes the night before. Make the routine simple, a 5-minute stretch or a short walk, and reward yourself, a small treat, a sense of accomplishment, or tracking progress visually. Over time, your brain associates the cue with the routine and the reward, solidifying the new habit. This is called habit stacking, a strategy used by productivity experts and psychologists to create lasting behavior change. Habits also interact in fascinating ways. A single positive habit can cascade into multiple improvements in your life. For instance, starting a morning meditation routine can increase focus, reduce stress, improve sleep, and even make you more patient and empathetic. Conversely, a single negative habit can trigger a chain reaction of unhealthy behaviors. The science shows that habits are not isolated. They form networks that either build momentum toward your goals or keep you trapped in cycles of failure. Understanding the brain's reward system is another critical insight. Dopamine, the neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and motivation, spikes not only when you achieve a reward, but also in anticipation of it. This explains why looking forward to a reward can be more motivating than the reward itself. That's why setting milestones, visualizing success, or celebrating small wins can dramatically accelerate habit formation. Your brain craves progress, and small, consistent actions provide it with a steady stream of dopamine, reinforcing the habit loop. The most powerful habits are often invisible. They become part of your identity. When you see yourself as a person who exercises, reads, or stays organized, your behaviors naturally align with that identity. Psychologists call this identity-based habit formation. Instead of focusing on what you want to achieve, focus on who you want to become. Your actions will then follow your self-image, making habits almost effortless. Now think about your own life. Which habits are helping you, and which are secretly holding you back? Which routines are invisible patterns shaping your destiny without you even realizing it? Awareness is the first step. Once you identify your habits, you can consciously redesign them. Replace cues that trigger bad habits with cues that encourage good ones. Attach meaningful rewards to positive behaviors. And gradually, with consistency, your life begins to shift in ways that feel almost magical. The surprising science of habits shows that change is not about willpower, motivation, or even talent. It's about systems, loops, and understanding your brain. Habits are powerful, but they are not fixed. You have the ability to harness them, to shape your environment, and to engineer behaviors that propel you toward your goals. Every small action matters because habits compound over time. The invisible patterns of today become the reality of tomorrow. So next time you go through your daily routines, remember, nothing is neutral. Every habit carries a weight. Every repeated behavior builds your future. By understanding the cues, routines, and rewards that govern your brain, you can take control of your habits and, ultimately, your life. Start small, be consistent, and watch the invisible threads of your behavior weave a life you truly want to live. Habits aren't just actions. They are the architecture of your destiny, and the surprising science behind them gives you the tools to design it deliberately.